comic fans, and it's time for that new comic book day haul plus review. So we're gonna get into the books. I didn't pull out any 50 centers this week. The holiday week, whatever. Didn't have time. But yeah, we're gonna get into the books picked up this week and a short review right after this.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, and if you like comics, you're in the place to be. Let's get into it. Let's start off with DC. There is actually no indies this week. No 50 centers, no indies. This was a smaller week for me. Not bad though, not bad. Yeah, let's get into it. It's Batman 134. Batman finally comes face to face with the Red Hood. All right. There was some speculation as to who the Red Hood was. Turns out it was not Batman himself, Bruce Wayne, or this universe's version, or some other alternate universe version of Bruce Wayne. It's just a guy who wants to be like the Joker. Fair enough. Overall, still a good read. You do have the Robin, Tim Drake secondary story, which is the backup story, which is good because they're still looking for Batman. They're trying to find him because he's lost in a different dimension. Overall, a good read, solid read. Just it's good. Oh, and the Robin story too is pretty touching. Tim Drake in his search for his mom, and with the technology that Mr. Terrific and the toy man give him, he's able to see his mom one last time, but it's not his actual real mom. It's a different dimension mom. Anyway, it was a very touching story. All right, let's keep it moving. Batman and the Joker, the deadly duo. Mark Silvestri. Little project here. This is the Black Label, or on the DC Black Label. Overall, still a really good story. Interesting, I guess. What we get here, though, is we get a lot of Mark Silvestri's art at its best. In the back of the book, they let you see just the inks before they're colored, and I think that's a really cool thing to look at. The artwork is just phenomenal. I think he's really put a lot into this, and the story's not bad either. So, and at the end of this book, I was thinking we were getting towards the end, book 6, but we're not. I think this might be 8 issues, maybe it's 12, I don't know. But basically, the main villain, she hasn't been defeated in this, but they're kicking her butt somewhat. But now the Joker wants something. He kind of made a deal in this book, and now Batman has it. And at the end of this issue, they are about to butt heads, and it's I think that's what, at the end of the day, a lot of people who are Batman and Joker fans want to see, is they want to see them, go head on. All right, next up we have SpiderMan. This is End of Spider-Verse Part 7. So this kind of concludes and wraps up the Spider-Verse story, but there is issue 8 coming out. And I don't know if this is continuing now. I thought they were going to stop it and then do a second volume or something, but maybe it's just going to be ongoing. There was a big buzz about the hidden variant, or the spoiler variant cover, which had Spider-Boy on it. It was a pretty cool cover. I was supposed to get one of those. Unfortunately, something happened with my LCS in their order, so I did not get one, but I got the A cover. So it would have been cool to have that book, but I understand stuff happens, so I did not get that book. Overall, I think this... My voice just changed. I think overall this series has been a little lackluster. Just a lot of spider people out there. The ending was okay. I think what it does give us is a new hierarchy of how this Spider-Verse universe is going to work out, and who's involved, and who the major players are. There was no real consequence, I feel like, to this series. But during the wrap up, it feels like there may be some consequences that'll happen later on down the road. So that's why I think it might be a continuing, and it wasn't just a all Spider-Verse book. But we'll see. We'll see where this goes. But at the end of this book, if you haven't been reading it, Peter Parker was just Peter Parker and no longer Spider-Man. That's restored. Spider-Woman was erased from, existence. She came back. Everything gets wrapped up nice and neat. And then find out there's another issue. All right. We have Amazing Spider-Man number 23. I'm just looking at it weird because the bag's not as tight as it should be. I get those resealable bags. And ever since I started getting them, I can't go back to the other bags. I do think that these bags aren't the best for the environment though, because you get all these little plastic pieces as you pull off, but whatever. I'm still using it. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 23. We find out a lot more about what happened between Peter and MJ, all right, and how she met that guy Paul, who she's now, dating, and they have kids, Paul's kids. I assume they're Paul's kids. Maybe they're Mary Jane's kids. We'll see. Anyway, Spider-Man gets sent back. MJ and Paul help to get Spider-Man back from this alternate dark dimension, back to New York. But only Spider-Man makes it, right? Only Peter makes it back. So he's got to get MJ back and Paul, but he doesn't really care about Paul as much. But he's got to get MJ back, right? So he goes to the Fantastic Four, and the Fantastic Four hold up. There's a whole explosion, all this stuff. We need to make sure you're actually you and not some alternate dimension, Spider-Man. And the Thing is very forthcoming, and he's like, I can't let you go here, I can't let you do that. And actually, we're just supposed to hold you here until, Cap gets here, and then Cap comes, and Cap's like, yeah, man, we'll help you. We just gotta ask you some questions and all that. And Spider-Man punches him in the face because he's like, I ain't got time for this. And then he runs off to Norman Osborn. So I think that's where we find out. This is one of the issues where we find out how Peter becomes entangled with Norman. Overall, I mean, it's another issue that explains what's going on in the Amazing Spider-Man universe. Good issue. It, could have been worse. Could have been better. Yeah, but we get some action here. We get the story progressing, and that's a good thing. So the story moves forward in this Amazing Spider-Man 23. Cool. And if you've been collecting these, there was another What If Disney 100 anniversary cover. So this is the Infinity Gauntlet one. Pretty awesome cover. Variant edition. I wish George Perez was still around, because I would love to have gotten something that signed by him, or just anything signed by him, honestly. All right, a couple more Marvel books and then we're done. We got Venom, number 18. I've been on and off with Venom. I keep wanting to drop the book. I'm not going to say this book is going to keep me from dropping it, but we get a lot more action than exposition, but there is a ton of exposition in this too. But if you can give me something with Venom, right? You give me a bad-ass Venom, not a Venom that's groveling and crying, and which happens, right? Everybody gets into a point in their life where oh man. But I need that Eddie Brock who's confident, and we get that in this issue. So we get the return of confident Eddie Brock, and I'm in for that. So Venom, I'm on you into issue 19. Ghost Rider 13. Still no real head-to-head face-up meeting with this Danny Ketch digitized Ghost Rider with all sorts of gadgets and gizmos aplenty. You want thingamabobs? Anyway, this is a series that's very on the nose, right? There's nothing that's too hidden. The reveals are expected. It's Ghost Rider though. Again, Flaming Skull. All cool things. And I just keep reading so that we can actually see Danny Ketch Ghost Rider at some point. But we do get a little bit of an origin story about this Ghost Rider. So that's what we get in this book. Origin story of this techno-enhanced version of Danny Ketch Ghost Rider. And you do get to see some Danny Ketch in a flashback scene. But yeah, this Ghost Rider is going around terrorizing just evil, but in a very, very harsh way, like even too harsh for the Ghost Rider. So, he's not just worried about, the villains. Sometimes some innocents get hurt in the process of taking out these demons. And so that's the problem with this Ghost Rider, is he's not protecting anything. He's just all out destruction at any cost for the demons. All right, Star Wars, number 33. An escape from no space, a saber destroyed. It says it right there on the cover. This group, the group from the Star Wars book was trapped in no space, and they managed to get out of no space. In the process, Luke loses or has his robotic arm crushed, right? If you didn't know, spoiler alert, but then you should have watched the movies, because that happens in the movies. Luke has a robotic arm, it gets crushed. So does his lightsaber, and his biggest fear is that that is going to cost him in his battle with Darth Vader in the future. So that's what we see here. I think it's Darth Vader's arm. No appearance of Darth Vader in this book, or at least not like in current times. Maybe a little flashback, we see this same scene, the arm in the lightsaber. Basically, this issue was just about them escaping no space, how they got out, how things were going to work after they got out, especially with the group of people they found in no space who kind of helped them to escape. Not easily, took a lot of finagling. And then the new group of people who are going to help the rebellion. So, but yeah, Luke is looking forward to a one-on-one battle with Darth Vader. We get that out of this book. All right, comic fans, that was my haul from this week. All right, hopefully I didn't ramble too long. It was a short pull, not too many 50 centers, like I said, or no 50 centers this week. Not too many indie books. Again, no indie books. But we had Marvel, we had DC, or basically we had Marvel and we had Batman. That's what I had this week. But for me, it was a nice, solid, good pull. Got to read everything, got to really get into it, get into the nitty-gritty of the books. And sometimes you just need a week like that. This is a refreshing week. I didn't feel like I had to read 20 books, which you should never feel like you have to read the books. You should want to read the books, all right? So comic fans, do what you do. I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to get ready for next week's books. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. Go ahead and throw me a thumbs up and comment down below. Peace!